Good morning, Cappuccino. It's actually 10 o'clock at night on Tuesday, but you will be seeing this on Wednesday. Sorry I did not get up a new warm-up and assignment for today, Tuesday. I had too much going on with my algebra class. So here we go. We are going to be talking about investing and also paying off loans. All right, so this was the warm-up from Monday, and you were supposed to be using the formulas that you got on the previous assignment from last week. And if you did that, if you used those formulas, you would have gotten an answer for A. You would have gotten 11,032.28. And what currency are we in here? Malaysian ringgits. Okay, so MYR. So that's the numeric answer you would have gotten using the formula. Okay, so go ahead and find the formula from the previous assignment. I'm trying to figure out where is it. Here it is. Here's the formula with compound interest. Okay, so now we are going to look at this one. Calculate how long it will take for her to double her money. So when you did this one, you should have gotten an answer of, where's my answer? 15.1. So it would have taken 15.1 years, which is approximately 15 years and 1 month. Okay, because this is being compounded monthly, so you don't have to round it up to the next year, because you are getting the money compounded monthly. So you could say 15 years and 1 month. You would have that, you would be doubled by then, or you could just say 15.1 years is fine. Okay, so I'll go over that when I do the warm-up on the 20th, on 5/20. I will show you how to do that, how to get these answers. But these were the answers. But what I want to talk about right now is how do we use our graphing calculator to do this? Because on the assignment, Investigation 6 and Investigation 7, somewhere on here, it said, fortunately, your GDC works all this out for you. Yay! So I'm going to show you GDC, means Graphing Display Calculator. So we're going to go over how do you do all this. So first of all, in this assignment, your notes assignment, you will find this attached to the assignment as a PDF. And it talks about how to use your graphing calculator to solve these compound interest problems, and also how to solve the annuity and depreciation, or annuity and loans. Okay, so Investigation 6 and Investigation 7. All right, you're going to be able to do those problems using your graphing calculator. So I'm not going to go over those exact problems right now using the graphing calculator, but instead I'm going to go over these problems using the graphing calculator. And where did I put my graphing calculator? That would be a good start. Oh, there it is. Okay, so on the graphing calculator, there is a financial app. Where the heck is it? If you look here, you can't see where it is. But where it is, and it says here in the notes, if you press Apps, okay, we got Apps is right here. If you press Apps, and then the option 1 is Finance. We're going to do finances, all right? So we press Enter. And then it says we're going to use the TVM Solver, okay? That's the only thing I figured out how to work on here, so that's all we're going to look at, all right? TMZ Solver. So you can see I've been doing some working here. If you go in, chances are the first time these are all going to be like zeros. Oops, doesn't like that. Okay, the last two might be ones, all right? So it's probably going to be kind of bare like this. One thing to note is that it will not let you leave anything blank. It wants you to write something for every single piece here, and that's okay. So I'm going to explain in a minute. So first of all, let's go over what do these variables mean. N is the total number of times the account is compounded. So the number of compounding periods per year times the number of years. It's also possible to just put in number of years here and then put the number of compoundings per year down here at C/Y. This is compounding periods per year. So there's actually two ways that you can enter in your information. So you can put the total number of times the account is compounded, or you can put just the total number of years here and then how many compounding periods there are down here. So I couldn't figure out which is the better way to do it. It tends to be a little bit easier to do the total number of compounding periods rather than years here and compounding periods here, and just to leave these two last ones at 1 each. That seemed to work more consistently, but I'll let you be the judge of that. Okay, next is interest rate as a percentage. So don't change it to a decimal. Leave it as a percent. So if the problem says you were getting 4% interest, you would put in a 4, okay? PV, present value, so that's your starting value. PMT, payment amount. We can use that for when you're like paying off a loan. So for example, the investigation number 7, Tim borrows $1,000 and he's paying back $168.62 each month, okay? The amount that he's paying back each month would be the PMT. Future value, so if you are investing money and you want to know how much money you're going to end up at the end of time, that's that amount. If you're paying off a loan and you want to calculate when am I going to be done paying off my loan, your future value would be 0 because you don't want to owe any more money. So your present value, if you took out a loan, say you took out $10,000, that would be your present value, and your future value, you'd want it to be 0. And you'd be trying to figure out how many payments, what the payment amount should be, or given a certain payment amount, how long it's going to take you to pay it off, blah, blah, blah. So in other words, you can use this TVM Solver for a lot of different types of situations. All right, so let's go ahead and do it. So for the first problem, we're going to try and get this answer. And one thing to note, this is important because otherwise it seems really weird. The TVM Solver looks at the direction of the cash flow. So if you make the present value positive, the future value is going to come back as negative. So don't worry about that. It will look weird, but it's okay. All right, so if you put in both a present value and a future value, they have to have opposite signs. All right, so just something to keep in mind when you're playing around with this. Okay, so back to Ambiga. Ambiga is investing $8,000, so that is the present value is $8,000. So put that in for present value. In a bank offering interest at a rate of 4.6, so interest 4.6. And payment amount, no, we're not like putting in additional money or anything like that. Okay, it's just, there's $8,000 and it's just going to sit there. We're not taking money out or putting money in. Calculate the amount of money Ambiga has after 7 years. Okay, 7 years, that's N, that's the number of compounding periods, 7, because there's 7 years and it's only per annum compounded monthly. Okay, so we are, though, going to be compounding 12 times a year. So see how I put 7 years up here? Compounding per year, it's compounding monthly, so I would have to put 12 down there. Okay, I think I set it all up right. PY would be payments per year, but we're not paying anything. Okay, that would be like for loans. So what's going to be my future value? It says 0, but I want to know what is it. So this is what you do. Even though it says 0 there right now, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Put your cursor on it, and then you're going to type alpha, and then press enter. So you're going to do alpha, enter. The alpha is the green thing here. It gets the green word, which is solve. I want to solve for the future value. So you put your cursor on the thing that you want to know the answer for. I don't know what the future value is going to be. I want to know. And then you do alpha, enter. And it tells me, 11,032.28, which is exactly what you get if you did it using the formula. Okay? Super sweet once you get the hang of it. All right. Calculate how long it will take for her to double her money. Okay, so I can keep all the information the same, except I don't know the number of years. So I'm going to change this to 0 because I don't know what it is. And I want her amount of money to be doubled. So double of 8,000 would be 16,000. But remember this weirdness, you got to put it in as a negative. So I'm going to put in negative 16,000. I want the future value to be 16,000. And for some weird reason, you have to have an opposite sign from the present value. Okay, so I'm still going to be compounding 12 times a year. And now I want to know, well, how many years is that going to take me? So I'm going back to my N. I don't know what it is. It's not 0. I want to know what it is. I selected it. I'm going to hit alpha, enter. Bam, 15.097. I'm going to round that off to 15.1 years, which is what we got when we did it with the formula. Yay! Okay, so there it is using the graphing calculator. Pretty cool. On here, I gave you a couple more examples. So here's some examples, and then here's how it would be set up on the calculator. So this is notes for you. You don't have to copy them into your notebook. If you do have a printer and you want to print them out and paste them in, that's fine. Otherwise, if you don't have a printer, don't worry about it. Just use this as a reference to do the next assignment. Okay, so for these notes, there aren't any, you don't have to actually upload anything. Okay, this is just sort of information for you that will help you do the following assignment. So the next assignment that I'm going to upload is going to be a bunch of problems like this. They're going to be paper and pencil problems, but I want you to use your graphing calculator, use your GDC, graphing display calculator, to figure them out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the problems. I'm going to give you all the answers, and then I want you to figure out how to set up the calculator. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be writing down your calculator screen. That's what you're going to be doing. Okay, sort of like here's my scratch paper over here, like this. You're going to be writing down how did you set up your calculator to help you get the answers for problems like this. All right, so it's all about can you use the graphing display calculator? Because remember, the more we practice with the calculator, the better you'll get. All right, so stay tuned for the next assignment, which will actually have the work that you need to do. So these notes, you don't have to turn anything in for this. You just need to look at them, and they'll help you with the next assignment. Okay, and again, you can print this out or not. You can just look at the PDF on your screen and look at this, study this to help you do the following problems that I'm going to give you. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.